Exploring the dark web. What really goes on? The dark web is a mysterious and often misunderstood part of the internet, shrouded in secrecy and speculation. It's a place where anonymity reigns supreme, and activities range from the mundane to the outright illegal. Here's an in-depth exploration of what really goes on in the dark web. Understanding the internet's layers. Surface web definition. The surface web is the part of the internet accessible through standard search engines like Google, Bing, or Yahoo. Scope. It comprises only about 10% of the entire internet. Content. Websites like news sites, social media, blogs, e-commerce platforms, etc. Deep web definition. The deep web is a vast part of the internet that isn't indexed by search engines. Scope. It accounts for approximately 90% of the internet. Content includes databases, academic resources, medical records, private company networks, subscription services, and more. Access requires specific credentials or URLs to access, but it's generally legal and includes ordinary content that's not meant to be publicly searchable. Dark web definition. The dark web is a small, intentionally hidden part of the deep web that requires specific software to access, like Tor, the onion router. Scope. It's a tiny fraction of the internet, but it's significant due to its anonymity and the activities it hosts. Content ranges from forums and marketplaces to illegal activities and secure communication channels for activists, journalists, and dissidents. 2. The origins and evolution of the dark web. Development of Tor origins. The Tor project was developed by the U.S. Naval Research Laboratory in the mid-1990s. Purpose. Designed to protect government communications by anonymizing users' internet traffic. Public release. Tor was released to the public in 2002, providing a tool for users to browse the internet anonymously. Early uses activism and journalism. Tor and other dark web tools became vital for activists and journalists, especially in regions with oppressive governments. Whistleblowing. The dark web provided a safe space for whistleblowers to share information without revealing their identities. The rise of illegal activity. Silk Road. Launched in 2011, Silk Road was one of the first dark web marketplaces, notorious for selling illegal drugs and other contraband. It was shut down by the FBI in 2013, but its legacy continues with similar platforms. Law enforcement and the dark web. The closure of Silk Road and subsequent operations have led to ongoing battles between law enforcement agencies and dark web users, pushing illegal activities further underground. 3. How the dark web works. Accessing the dark web. Tor browser. The most common way to access the dark web is through the Tor browser, which anonymizes your internet activity by routing your connection through multiple servers or nodes around the world. Onion domains. Websites on the dark web use the .onion domain, which is not accessible through regular browsers. These sites often change their addresses frequently to avoid detection. Alternative networks. While Tor is the most popular, other networks like I2P, Invisible Internet Project, and Freenet also provide access to parts of the dark web. Anonymity and security encryption. Tor and other dark web technologies use multiple layers of encryption to hide users' identities and locations. Risks. Despite these protections, users on the dark web are still at risk from hackers, scams, and law enforcement tracking. Strong security measures, including VPNs and anti-malware software, are essential. 4. What can you find on the dark web? Illegal marketplaces, drugs. The dark web is notorious for its drug marketplaces where users can purchase illicit substances anonymously. Weapons, firearms, and other weapons are available, although many of these listings are scams or traps set by law enforcement. Stolen data. Credit card information, login credentials, and personal data are commonly sold on the dark web. Counterfeit goods, fake passports, driver's licenses, and counterfeit currency can be found. Hacking and cybercrime services, malware and ransomware. Tools for creating and distributing malware or ransomware are available for purchase, along with services for launching cyber attacks. Hacking for hire. Hackers offer services to break into networks, steal data, or take down websites for a fee. DDoS attacks. Distributed denial of service. DDoS attacks can be purchased to disrupt websites and online services. Forums and communities anonymity. Discussions. Users discuss techniques for maintaining anonymity and avoiding detection. political and ideological groups, forums dedicated to extremist ideologies, as well as more benign discussions on privacy and free speech. Scams and fraud. Many forums are dedicated to various forms of fraud, including phishing schemes, identity theft, and financial scams. Legitimate uses privacy tools. The dark web hosts legitimate services like secure email providers and VPNs designed for users who prioritize privacy. Whistleblower platforms. Sites like SecureDrop allow whistleblowers to share information with journalists anonymously. Research and communication. Academics and researchers use the dark web to share sensitive data or collaborate on controversial topics. 5. The risks of exploring the dark web. Legal risks. Law enforcement. While browsing the dark web is not illegal in most countries, engaging in illegal activities is. Law enforcement agencies actively monitor the dark web and have successfully prosecuted users for illegal activities. Accidental exposure. Even casual browsing can expose users to illegal content, potentially leading to legal trouble if authorities become aware. Scams and fraud. Common scams. The dark web is rife with scams, from fake marketplaces to fraudulent services. Trust is hard to come by, and many users lose money to dishonest vendors. Phishing attacks. Users may be targeted with phishing attacks that steal their personal information or financial data. Fake services. Listings for illegal services like hitmen or hacking often turn out to be scams designed to steal money or data. Malware and hacking. Malware. The dark web is a breeding ground for malware, and users are at risk of downloading viruses, ransomware, or spyware. Hacking. Visiting certain sites or forums can make users targets for hackers, who may attempt to steal data or take over devices. 6. Ethical considerations. Moral dilemmas. Supporting crime. Engaging in illegal activities or purchasing illicit goods supports criminal enterprises, contributing to real-world harm. Exposure to disturbing content. The dark web hosts some of the internet's darkest content, including illegal pornography, human trafficking, and other exploitative material. Encountering this content can be deeply unsettling and has ethical implications. The double-edged sword. Privacy versus criminality. The dark web's protection of privacy is vital for activists, journalists, and whistleblowers, but it also shields criminals from law enforcement. This duality raises complex ethical questions about the role of anonymity online. 7. The future of the dark web. Ongoing evolution. Technological advancements. As law enforcement improves its capabilities to monitor and infiltrate the dark web, users develop new technologies to maintain anonymity and evade detection. Blockchain and cryptocurrencies. The rise of blockchain and cryptocurrencies has made dark web transactions harder to trace, posing new challenges for law enforcement. Increased regulation. Government crackdowns. Governments around the world are investing in tools and technologies to monitor dark web activity and shut down illegal operations. Collaborative efforts. Law enforcement agencies are increasingly collaborating across borders to tackle the global nature of dark web crime. Speculation. A continued battle. The future of the dark web will likely involve a continued battle between those seeking privacy and those exploiting anonymity for criminal purposes. Potential changes. Emerging technologies, shifts in internet regulation, and evolving legal frameworks could reshape the dark web in unpredictable ways. Conclusion. The dark web is a complex, multifaceted part of the internet that defies simple categorization. It serves as a haven for privacy and free speech, while also being a hotbed of illegal activities and scams. Exploring the dark web requires caution, a strong understanding of the risks, and an awareness of the ethical implications involved. Whether it remains a shadowy underworld or evolves into something else entirely, the dark web will continue to intrigue, frighten, and fascinate those who dare to explore its depths.